Hey guys, AdvancedNet Gaming here, and welcome to another tutorial. For the first tutorial actually in this series, and this is going to be a Visual Basic tutorial season or series. And the first thing I'm going to teach you is how to make an advanced sign-in form. And I've already gone ahead and created a project, which I'm going to go ahead and assume that you already know how to navigate and use this program. I'm using Microsoft Visual Studio 2014 or 2015. I believe it's 2015. Now, to create an advanced login form, you need two programs. Of course, this program, which is Visual Studio, and then you also need Microsoft Access. And this is how we're going to create our database, which to create an advanced login form, we need to have a database that the form can check, and like check the database to see if the information was inputted correctly, and so forth. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're not going to make this a super fancy looking form. So we're just going to leave it just about that, and just for the sake of it, we're going to name this login form. Okay, so what we want to do now is actually start working on our database. So if you want to just go ahead and design the form, you can go ahead and do that. However, for beginners, I suppose, who are watching this, I would recommend you not, because if you design it one way and it turns out the way that I'm doing this doesn't work out the way you expect and have to change stuff around, it's probably better that you just leave it like this and then just kind of mock everything I'm doing. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to create a blank database. Make sure that this is selected and none of the others, because none of the others will work, of course. So over here on the right, we're going to name this accounts, and we're going to leave it in the documents for now. We'll just press create, and then it kind of looks like a Microsoft Excel in a way, but this is specifically made for databases and stuff like that. So go ahead and press Control S to save, and we're going to name this users. Just go ahead and press OK. Give me a second, I gotta fix my mouse pad. Here we go. And what you want to do is right click the tab and actually go to design view. And design view just allows you to add stuff within your database, and by default it already creates a field name called ID and then auto number. And auto number just pretty much means 1, 2, 3, 4, and it does it all by itself, so you, the user or you do not have to do it. So we're going to just go ahead and leave that as it is, and we're going to create two things. We're going to create username and password. Of course, this is just going to be, in a way, a basic and an advanced login form. I'm going to try to make it as basic and understandable as much as I possibly can, and I do apologize if I don't cover enough. So let's go ahead and start. So we're going to do username and then password, and we're going to leave these both as text. And if you have like a different version of Access, which I know there's a older version, but I'm just going to go ahead and use 2007 for now. If you have an older version, you probably have long text or short text. Go ahead and do long text for both username and password. Go ahead and press Control S again, and we're going to go back to datasheet view, and this kind of organizes it: ID, username, and password. So we're going to go ahead and save that, and this is very important. What you want to do now is actually hit the exit button, because once we start doing stuff within Visual Basic, it's going to mess it up, and it's just going to give you an error saying that the file's open and it has to be closed, and you don't have to redo everything. So make sure you go ahead and close that and make sure it's just closed. And what we want to do now is go to I have this pinned. Yours might look like that. I like to have my toolbox pinned. So we're going to open data source tab and actually click add new data source. Select database, next, dataset, next, and go ahead and click new connection. And if you do not have this selected, if it does not say Microsoft Access database file, which is an OLE database, which that's what DB stands for, go ahead and hit change and click the first one. If it's not the first one, look for Microsoft Access database file. This is, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, it says Microsoft Access, so yeah, go ahead and click that and press OK. And then it says database file name, which you're going to go ahead and hit browse, and we're going to look for accounts, and we're going to press open. You can go ahead and leave log on to the database blank. You can leave it as admin and stuff like that. That's not important. And before we press OK, which it actually doesn't matter, we want to press test connection. If you get an error and if you press OK but without pressing test connection, it'll still give you an error. So just for the sake, press test connection. It'll say test connection succeeded. Now, usually the first time for beginners, you will get an error here. It's going to say that something's not right, or it can't find something. I don't know the exact error, but if you do get that error, go ahead and go down to the description below, and there's a download link that you need to download, and go ahead and install that, and then close Visual Basic and redo this process. You do not have to recreate the database. Go ahead and just test connection again, and it should say succeeded. And if not, you can look further into YouTube on how to fix that. So go ahead and press OK. So now it should say accounts.accdb1. Go ahead and hit next. Now be careful. Most people would hit yes. Click no for this this one. Go ahead and leave this as the same. Go ahead and select tables. You don't have to do views. Just make sure you have all these selected: ID, username, and password. Go ahead and hit finish, and we have our data set or data source. So we're not quite done yet. We still got to manage the database. So right over here on to the right side under the Solution Explorer tab, you should have the accounts dataset.xsd. Go ahead and double click that, and you should have this type of weird thing here. Go ahead and select users table adapter, right click and add query. Go ahead and hit next. Select with returns a single value, which returns a single value, for example, sum, count, or any other whatever that is, function. I have no idea. So here we want to remove the parentheses. Do not delete the star. I repeat, do not delete the star, because if you do, you probably mess it up. Okay, and whereas after user space, and then type in with a capital W where, and then with a capital U, username equals question mark, and in all caps, password with a capital P equals question mark. Okay, and hit query builder, and if an error pops up, that means you typed something incorrectly within this table load, whatever it's called. So now once we have query builder open without any errors, go ahead and hit execute query. Now here's username and password. Notice that it has only 2 tables, but we have 3 tables. ID is not represented within the code that which the query we have typed. So we only put username and password. So that's all what we need for the user to type. ID is automatic, so we do not need that. So with here, we're just going to do user, and then for here, we're going to do password, and press OK. And if you get an error, just keep redoing it, change it up without this time to test and test. Press OK, hit next, leave that as Scholar, I think it's pronounced Scholar query, next, and finish. And that is, let's go ahead and save it. And that should be it for the database. So we should now we'll start designing it, and then we'll be able to program it to check the database and make sure that the input that the user had typed is correct or matches the database. All right, so to make things easier for now, what we're going to do is hit this, hit the drop down arrow, and hit details. Select username once and click it, drag it onto your form. After you have, press the delete button and leave the toolbar here, and I will show you why maybe in the next episode, or maybe just later if I have time. I stress out now, if you are making this and you don't want users to hack into other people's profile accounts if you are deciding to publish your program, do not leave these here, because the user will be able to navigate through the database and get into users' accounts. So go ahead and just delete all these. Also delete the X, because they could delete a user's account on accident. So all you should need is a save and the add button. So yeah, we'll go ahead and click around this. Click and drag. Sorry guys, I can't talk today. Click and drag down the form. Look for a group box. I'm sorry, not a group box. A tab control. I always have the hardest times looking for it. Okay, tab control. I'm gonna do this about here. Try this. We can try docking it within the synth or the content part of the form. Okay, it worked this time. Last time it was like covering up the tool. It was under the toolbar. It was kind of hard to fix that. Go ahead and name this login for tab page 1, and then for tab page 2, go ahead and name this sign up. And actually, a better way to do that is with this saying sign up, where it says login, make it say sign in, just to make it look more professional. Alright, that's actually all the time I have right now. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. If you like this series, go ahead and smack that like button for me, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Hey guys, AdvancedNet Gaming here, and welcome back to another tutorial on how to create an advanced login form in Visual Studio and VB.net. So in the previous episode, we have created and finished pretty much the database part of the advanced login form, and then we created the toolbar, and then we have the tab control here, so we can have the sign in and sign up part of the form. So in the sign in, we're going to go ahead and start creating this stuff for the user to input and log in. So we're going to need two labels. So we're going to do copy and paste. We'll put it one about right here and then one about there. And for label 1, we're going to do username with a colon at the end. And then for label 2, we're going to do password with a colon at the end. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select both label 1 and label 2, and I'm going to change the font to bold and 10. And now we're going to need a text box. We need 2 of them actually. So I'll do that right about there, copy and paste, put it about there, and we're going to put it halfway through the page. And then for the password, we want it to be to use password char, system password char. So when we type stuff, it will have those little round things when you type. So go ahead and put that center screen. And now we need a button. So we're going to click a button and put it right there. And we're going to do login. And then we're going to add another button. Whoops, just 2 buttons. And we're going to do try again. So that'll pretty much allow the user to clear everything. And I kind of selected everything, and I gotta figure out how not to. There it goes. Alright, so now what we want to do is test it out. Well, let's go ahead and test it out. So looks pretty nice. We got the form. We got to try again, log in. We can type stuff. We can navigate to 2 types of tabs. And I would not click these if I were you, because then you probably break it. Because it is talking to the database at the moment. So yeah, so now what we want to do is I guess we start coding now. Not for sure. Alright, it doesn't matter if we do. I'm trying to think what else. Okay, we're going to double click the login button, and this is where, oh, I remember what I was going to do. Okay, so go ahead and you can go ahead and leave that open because we're going to need it anyway. What I was planning on doing is actually going to get another label and put it right here, and we're going to actually put a dot right there. The user should not be able to see it, but the reason why we're doing that is to show you what will happen. So right now we're gonna go back to the login form, and where it says button one dot click, you want to type dim username as string, dim password as string as well, and then what you want to do is username equals textbox1.text and password equals textbox2.text. So dim username as string is pretty much a variable. Username is the placeholder, and dim password is also the placeholder, and they're both string. Therefore, they're both text. Okay, or user input, I guess you could say. So here it says username equals the text, whatever the user types in the first text box, which is right here, and then password textbox2.text is the second text box, and clearly, obviously, the .text is whatever the user types within the text boxes. So now we wanted to check the database to see if the information the user has typed is correct. So what we want to do is do account.data. Is it that? It's users table dot adapter dot. Okay, Scholar. I want to call it Scholar query. Click that and open parentheses. And what you want to type is username, comma, password. And then what we want to do is, I did it wrong. We have to do an if statement. If username blah blah blah, then enter. There we go. So what we wanted to do is create an if statement because we're wanting it to check the information. So if so and so is right, blah blah blah. So so this is if the information is correct. So what we want to do is the label that we created, which is label 3. We're going to say label 3 dot text equals, type in database match, and we want the color to be blue, letting us know that it was correct. So we're going to do dot for color equals color dot blue. All right, and then what we want to do is type in else, and then we're going to do label 3 dot text equals database found no matches, and we want to make it red because it's an error. So I'm going to do for color equals color dot red, and that should be actually it. So what we did here is if the user typed in the information correctly, the text of label 3 changes to database match, not database to match. And then for label and then also to change the color of label 3 to blue, because currently it's black. And an else statement pretty much says if it's not correct, then label 3 text say, or label 3 say database found no matches, and also change the for color of label 3 to red, and then end the if statement right here. Alright, so if we come back and if we actually open the database, which I'm going to have to find, which is this one because it does not have a lock on it, users, notice that it does not have any information within the database. So we're going to go ahead and run it and try typing in something. So notice that you can barely see that little dot on the screen, letting us know we can actually delete that now, not the label, but delete the text, so the users won't be able to see it. The reason why I did that is so if I forgot what label it is, or if I forgot what number it was, I could go back and look for it. So the username, if we just type in maybe my first and last, well actually first name and my last name, press login, it says database. Oh, okay, it's off the screen, but if I go ahead and do this, it says database found no matches. All right, so that means that the whatever you typed, it found no matches. All right, so this part I'll be going over how to create the login, like the actually what I'm going to do, just so we don't have to do extra work, is I'm going to name this admin access. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and create a new form. Whoop. And name this the same thing, admin access.vb. I'm going to click this drag, click and drag that form, and pretty much do the same thing. Besides, change this from details to data grid view, and click and drag it, and pretty much dock it. Dock and parent container. All right, and you can leave that, and we're gonna have to link it. All right, and go ahead and do this. All right, so now what I'm going to do is, the reason why I actually did that is because we have to have an account. Now we could manually do that by coming here and typing in the information, but just to show you, we can do that from the form now. So what we're going to do is actually click here and start typing. We're going to do username, and we're going to type in my first name and my last name as the password, and we're going to go press save. Okay, so now it's saved. Now if I actually come back and hit the refresh button, looky here, and within the database it actually changed, or actually added the information. So now if we go ahead, now since it's saved, we can actually close the program, make sure it ends, start it, and now I'm actually going to click and drag this so it's not off of the screen here, and we're going to do my first name as always, and Houchins as, and it says database match. Now if we typed in username as 123456789 and press login, it says database found no matches. So that is actually pretty much how you can create a advanced login form that actually access the database and everything. I guess I can go ahead and show you how to delete it. All you have to do is select over here and press X. Make sure you hit the save data. Go ahead and close the form, end it, and go back here and press refresh, and it goes away. So yeah, if you guys actually want, this is actually technically the end of this part of advanced login system. But if you want me to continue by doing the sign up part of this tutorial, go ahead and leave a comment below saying continue with the advanced login system, because I want to know how to work the sign up stuff. But I will tell you that once I taught myself how to use this database, you can pretty much teach yourself how to use the sign up part. It's actually not very hard. I mean, it has a few more steps to do, and it actually requires a lot of thinking, because you have to think and try to image it in your head on what it's going to do. You got to think like the computer would. So that is pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Visual Basic.